Right, now let us look at the best candlestick signal in Japanese candlesticks terminology. This is my coach Steve Nissen's most favorite candlestick pattern. It's a continuation pattern. So it is called as the window. So the rising window and the falling window is the best candlestick signal a trader can exploit to his her advantage. So there is no other candlestick signal that is better than this candlestick signal. Okay, and we will have a look at what this is all about. So let's look at what is a rising window. So a rising window and falling window are continuation patterns. Let's say the market is going up and you have this rising window here. So the rising window, how does it get created? You have this high of this candle and you have the low of this candle. Between the high and the low of this candle there is a gap. It's a price vacuum. There is no price action in this area. So that is called as a window in Japanese candlestick terminology. So in a rising, when you have a rising window, that rising window becomes support area. So the window has two lines, the upper line and the lower line. So the lower line and the upper line both are support, but the lower line is a stronger support than the upper line. Okay, but just understand that the entire window is a support zone. So if the price comes here, it might go down here in the zone and then go back up again. Okay, same is the case with a falling window, but in reverse direction. So the market is coming down from the low of this candle to the high of this candle. You have this price vacuum. So that's a window. In Western technicals, it is called as a gap. So this window becomes resistance. So now you have lower line and upper line of this resistance. So the upper line is more powerful than the lower line. Okay, so that's the rising window and falling window. These are continuation patterns. So the market will keep continuing in the direction that it was there earlier. So the window is a continuation signal. A rising window becomes support. The low of the rising window, this one, is a very strong support. The falling window becomes resistance, this entire window. The high of the falling window is very strong resistance. Now once a window is broken, it is no longer used as resistance or support. So let's say the price goes and closes like this with a black candle. Okay, so if there is any candle that closes like this is a black candle. So it has closed below the lower line of the window. Lower line is more stronger than the upper line as support. If it closes below that window, then we say that the support or resistance of that window is broken. Let's quickly have a look at an example. So in this case, we take a falling window. So the market is going down and suddenly you have this gap here between the low of this candle and the high of this candle. There is a gap. Okay, ignore the colors of the two candles. What is important is that gap. Now that gap is a falling window. A falling window we know becomes resistance. So since it is a continuation pattern, I might choose to take an entry here and I will keep my stop loss above this upper line, because we know that the upper line is more stronger resistance than the lower line of that window. So probably I would keep my stop loss here, and since there is no prior high or low, I can just expect the price to go down from here, because I know what is my loss, what is my expected loss, or how much risk I am taking here. So this is an intraday chart of Bank Nifty. So it's a short position. Okay, and the falling window has worked out fine. These two candles, this one and this one, tried to break above and close above the window, but you look at these small purple dotted lines, the window, they forget about breaking or closing above the window. They did not even cross the window. So our stop loss was never hit and the price kept going down. So it's a very strong continuation pattern. Another window you have here, this, see this and this, it's a large window and this is a small window. Remember one thing, that the small window is more powerful than the large window, because smaller window, our risk is very low, because here our risk would have been from here till here. Here if we have to take the trade, our risk would be from, let's say I take a short position here, my risk would be here. That's a very long risk. So the larger window means larger risk also. And see how price, when it reached the window, how that falling window became resistance in this area. So the window is a very powerful candlestick signal. One of the best candlestick signals any trader can have is the window, whether it is falling window or rising window. Okay.